back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I actually have a meeting right now. Let me quickly click on it. So basically I'm getting interviewed by a friend of mine. Her sister's doing something for her school project to do with female entrepreneurs, and she was like, oh, could I interview you? And I'm like, sure, why not? So yeah, so I quickly got ready and I'm just gonna go ahead and go on Zoom with her and answer a few of her questions. I haven't really prepared anything. I saw the questions in advance, but I haven't really prepared anything. Okay. Cool. My first interview. Bismillah. It shouldn't be anything deep. I'm just gonna speak from the heart. Okay, the entrepreneur interview. The host will let you in. Okay, cool. Okay, it's 12. I'm exactly on time. Hi, can you hear me? I could hear you perfectly fine. I think, do you know what it is? Let me quickly get, I basically have glue tape all over my webcam. Do you know why? Because I have so many Zoom like lessons at uni and I just don't want to be seen, so I usually just put a glue tape on top.
Are you excited and stuff like that?
I am, like, I feel more optimistic. I feel like because I'm balancing uni and work, it is kind of difficult, but yeah, I'm trying to, like, whenever I have time off from uni, I definitely try to do more things to do with my business as much as I can.
Yeah, but that's amazing that you're able to balance the two. Like, I don't even work and I'm already studying uni. That's really impressive.
It is difficult. I won't, like, I'm not gonna come here and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm struggling, sis. Like, literally I'm struggling. But do you know what, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and that's what I have to remind myself. Like, immediate gratification is not something that I advocate for anyway, so I just have to remember, like, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's a really good way of thinking about it.
For
so
sure.
I'll just start off with the first question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are some of your biggest fears about the business?
Oh my god, I think like not being able to reach loads of people. I think that's one of my biggest fears. You know, when you just remain stagnant and you're not really moving on an upward trajectory, you're just still. Yeah. That is one of my biggest fears, literally.
It's not growing as a business.
Not growing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, with the business, right, how have you managed to stay true to yourself and the business throughout the entrepreneurial experience?
Okay, so basically I feel like I have to always recenter why I started my business in the first place. So I have to always go back to the basics. What is my mission? What am I trying to accomplish? Because I remember right before I was launching, right, I got so nervous. There was a lot of just butterflies in my stomach, and I was literally going to close my laptop and just call it a day. I'm like, no, I'm not launching, forget it. And then I had a conversation with my friend who I went to Brazil with, and we literally had to go back to the basics. Why did I begin? And then the minute that I had to reaffirm my mission, which was ultimately to build a classroom, is when I was like, do you know what, it's not even for me, it's not for me, so why am I giving up when it's not even for me, it's for somebody else? And then once I instilled that belief back into my ethos and my gut, I was like, do you know what, it's not even for me. I opened up my laptop again and I just pressed public, and then I made it live. Literally, that's the only thing, honestly, that kept me going.
Could you restate what your mission was?
So our mission is, well, our ethos is emancipation through education.
And what does that mean?
Mission statement is to build a classroom so where children can go and learn and just become creative, and through their education hopefully they can become, you know, emancipated, and hopefully just be able to provide for their families and just have, like, you know, good jobs and careers and stuff. Because like, yeah, that's our ethos. Yeah. And that's what literally keeps me going, because in 2018 I went to Brazil, and that's where the whole business started from. The idea started from Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
What's so special about Brazil that brought all this inspiration to start with?
When I tell you, Brazil low-key changed my life. So we went to like a small NGO, right, and they were showing us around the whole infrastructure of their building, and basically it's like a husband and wife NGO, and they travel 1 hour outside of their city to go to a small little school that they've built, and it's been in their family for generations. So when we went to Brazil in 2018, it was kind of like an internship. We didn't think anything of it. We thought, okay, we're gonna go there, help out, but we didn't realize how much of an impact it would have on our lives. So when they were showing us around the building, there was this like upstairs, but there was no stairs connecting to the upstairs, right? So we were like, why is that? Like, why don't you guys have an additional classroom? Because they cater to so many children in the neighborhood. And they were like, yeah, we don't have any like financial assistance. The government doesn't help us with anything. And I'm like, this is so strange. And I was like, how long has this been like this for? And they were like, that classroom has been like abandoned for probably like 4 years. And I was like, really? 4 whole years? And me and my friend, we looked at each other. We were like, say no more. When we go back to London, we're going to set up a GoFundMe account. And we're going to raise £2,000 and give it back to you guys so you can build this classroom finally. And little did we know, yeah, when we went back to London, no one donated shit, basically. Oh, I can't swear, no one donated anything.
That's insane, yeah. And then this sort of like drove up that inspiration to create a business. And wow.
Yeah.
So it's less of a for you or like for me reason, more of I want to help these people.
For them, yeah.
That kind of leads me to my next question, actually. What have you learned about yourself from starting the business? Like from the start of it, from the Brazil trip to the process, like from the business itself, what have you learned about yourself?
I learned I'm very resilient. I learned like I was able to become very creative with my ideas, with my naming, with branding. I really got into my creative bag with my business, and literally my first ever concept came to me in a dream. It was just weird. Like when I came back from Brazil, I was so down, couldn't find a job and nothing like that. So the idea came to me and I woke up, like I gasped. I was like, oh my god, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm gonna get money, this is how I'm gonna raise the £2,000. Because once you make a promise, dude, it was so weird. And I remember writing it in my diary. Like I always keep a journal with me. This is my second one. And I remember writing the date, the time and everything, and I was like, this is what it's gonna do, this is what the application is gonna feel like, this is what's gonna be in the ingredients list. And then from then I continuously was researching. Even when I was really ill, I was researching like there was no tomorrow. And I was just like, I just realized I was very resilient, and I knew that through putting my thoughts on paper, I can actually make it into a reality.
I think it also shows so much of a strong will. Like you said, you went to Brazil in 2018, and to just be working on it for 3 years basically, non-stop, and like staying dedicated to it, which is insane to me. Crazy. You said also how you thought you became really creative. Did you not think of yourself as a creative person before?
I feel like I've always been creative, but I've never had an outlet like that. Do you know what I mean? This made me exactly. Like, it was my first time being able to freely do. I felt like I was on an apprentice, I won't even lie. I felt like I was able to like really truly put thought to paper and then make it into reality. All this time that I've been growing up, it's been theoretical, like it's just putting it onto paper, not actually making it into, you know, a product. So yeah, I got really creative with the names. Like the names were quirky and just something that was suitable for the product. And yeah, like I really enjoy the process. More time, I'm enjoying the journey rather than the end result.
Yeah. And throughout this process and this journey, right from Brazil to right now through this interview, what would you consider some of your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay, so one of my strengths is definitely customer service. One thing that I prioritize is ensuring that each customer felt like they are valued and they are seen and they are heard. So I always try to go the extra mile. I make sure to write personalized letters to everybody. I make sure to add a few extra goodies. I always make sure to have some sort of sweet, like a dip that goes into every one of my parcels. And yeah, I feel like when they read and they open it, they feel like, wow, she's gone the extra mile. And then they message me to let me know I really appreciate it, and that warms my heart. So I feel like one of my strengths is making sure the customer always comes first.
I definitely agree with that. When I opened my package, and which I've been like loving and using all the time, like it was so nice to see like the little letter. Like I always love that with small businesses in general, having their own personalized product packaging and stuff like that. It's just really nice to see.
I feel like I'm tearing up. You know that little kitten in your profile? That is me right now.
I completely forgot about that promo picture.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's definitely a strength.
Well, then what about a weakness? What would you consider? What have you, if something new you found that was a weakness through this business, or weakness you've always had?
Now I'm starting to develop a weakness. One of my weaknesses now is getting overly stressed. My god, I'm literally such a chilled person, and then starting this business, it brought out the beast in me. Literally, like, I remember when I was doing, so basically here's like one of my oils, right? When I was doing the labeling for this, I was going back and forth with one of the people, like, at the website, to make sure that it looked presentable, and it looked like it, and more so the measurement fit the whole bottle. And initially they said, okay, if you're gonna have it for a specific price, you can design it yourself. I tried to design it myself, failed so many times because I kept getting the measurements wrong, and then eventually I had to pay the person to just move it around a little bit. And initially when he spoke to me on the phone, he was like, okay, it's gonna cost X amount, and then when I get the invoice, it cost me double that amount. And I was just getting so frustrated. I was like, should I go ahead and just like let him do it? I was gonna just, you know, be like, you know, I will continue to do it myself, but I had a time constraint. One thing that I learned is also, don't announce anything too prematurely until it's completely finalized and everything is in your house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be too fast.
I think that leads back to what you're saying about it's not a sprint, etc. So just to be at your own pace.
Yes,
basically.
for sure. Because like when you announce things too prematurely, it kind of like, it makes the other person anticipate its drop, and then when you delay it, it's kind of like, but I thought you were gonna do it then, and it's like, it just makes you look a little bit all over the place. So I would say don't. Pardon?
I was about to say it must have been especially stressful, especially through 2020, and obviously that might have put like a hold on any business situations, any business events, etc.
For sure. And then literally my sister was just like, girl, it's an investment. I was like literally gonna pull the plug, and then she was like, think about it in a long time, like the amount he's asking for is not like a killer, but everything eats up into the profits at the end of the day. And I was just like, you know what, it's going to be an investment, and I have to realize it's for the greater good. It's better for you to invest in quality pieces than something that's rushed, and just you're going to have to end up doing it again anyway and spending more money anyway. So just invest in quality pieces beforehand is what I would suggest.
Well, that leads to the next one.
I love how it's all like leading to the next one. I love it.
Well, I feel like they just have led so smoothly and stuff. So through this, what are some changes you would make to yourself that would help the business? So any personal improvements, any just changes to yourself personally you think that would help the business?
I feel like I need to get myself more organized. 100%. When I was launching it, and I was in my final year, I had my dissertation to do, so many other modules to do. I still managed to do a women's officer. I was a women's officer for my undergrad uni, and I still managed to do like a pre-launch for my business. All of that whilst also handling personal responsibilities at home. And the reason why I was able to do everything so well, and I still managed to like get a first in my dissertation on all of that, is because I was very much prioritizing my time very efficiently. I had a diary that I utilized to the best, like so effectively, and I just knew exactly what I was doing and what time I was doing things as well. So I would say I need to go back to the old days and get myself a diary and just become a lot more organized, because once I've got like a diary in place, my mind is automatically reflects my diary. I'm more in my mind, I'm more organized. It's like what they say about if your room is clean, your mind is clean. And I believe that. So organization is key.
I feel like you must be very disciplined to be able to stick so strictly to whatever's in your diary, whatever's in your planner.
But it's not easy, for sure. I definitely have my pitfalls sometimes where I'm just like, I was about to swear. I was about to just, you know, forget it. I'm just going to take a me day, because it's also important to have on your diary a day just completely to yourself. Like, X that day out. Chill in your pajamas, watch your Netflix and everything like that. I do that a lot. Like, you have to be kind to yourself.
And you were doing, and you, as you were saying, you were working on the business through your final year. I can't imagine that kind of stress, the dissertation, the other modules. So honestly, that just sounds like an amazing accomplishment.
You know what? You have to give yourself credit as well. That's one thing that I'm learning. Give yourself credit where credit is due.
actually think you're a very disciplined person. But what other entrepreneurial traits do you think that you have or that you possess?
I think I'm somebody who doesn't say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I execute. I think execution is one of the key principles of running a business. A lot of times people's dreams become halted because they allow fear to embody them. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I don't wait around, I don't do ifs or buts. If the opportunity presents itself, then I'll go for it. Even if the opportunity is not there, I'll create it for myself. Because I come across a lot of people who say they want to start something, and a year later or 2 years later, you ask them, well, what happened? They make up, I don't want to say excuses, but it's like a lot of the time it's fear, or what if it goes wrong, or what if... I also have those doubts as well, don't get me wrong. I also have doubts where I honestly, a lot of times I do have doubts, but I try to silence those doubts and just be like, just go for it, because you never know the outcome.
Yeah, you could say like a lot of people get frozen in fear, especially with setting new stuff.
Yeah, and you have to take risks. I think one thing as well is being a risk taker as a business owner.
I think that's one thing you learn as well in business is like the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, especially. I feel like that's definitely so that's definitely something that you have to keep in mind about like the struggles currently.
For sure.
So let's just move on to your lifestyle a bit. So what does your typical day look like ever since starting the business?
Okay, so because I'm managing so many different things at once, I try to balance my academia. When we were allowed to go in, I would go in for my seminars, and if I have any summative or kind of formative essays to do, I make sure that those are done. And then what I do is I go, before I jump into the business, I try to exercise. One thing that I started to implement is running with my sister. Oh my god, that's an endorphin just releaser. All the stress, anything that was on my mind, as soon as I go for a run with my sister, I feel much more active and more alive. And then I come back, take my shower, and then I'll proceed to check, my website if I've got any sales. And then if I do have any sales, I make sure to fulfill them, get my shipping label, print it out, and then send it off.
So does it feel like your days are very busy? Like a typical day?
Yeah, a typical day is very busy. And then if I, for example, finish like my exams, then I'll take a week off. Like recently I finished my exams, I've taken a week off just for myself with no work, no nothing.
Great, yeah.
And now starting from today and Monday, I'm going back into uni, because we're still allowed to go into uni to access the library and stuff. I'll go back into uni. I'll make sure to ride a bike. Sometimes I'll make sure to exercise. Exercise is something that needs to continue in my daily kind of routine. And then prioritize the business. If I want to introduce a new product, I'll go to a photo shoot. I had a photo shoot yesterday with my new launch that's coming out for Valentine's Day. So yeah, so I try to prioritize the things that need to be prioritized, for sure.
So through this day to day, so how often do you network in your day-to-day life, and is it something that you consider as important for your business?
Networking is key. Honestly, like, it's opened a few doors for me. Obviously now with COVID it's a bit more difficult to network, especially because I would say when we were allowed out back pre-COVID times, I used to go to events, like hair events, all the time, and that's where I would predominantly meet people who are like-minded and who have their own similar kind of hair care businesses, and that's how I was able to increase brand awareness as well. But now I would definitely say Clubhouse has been really very much, encouraging, and very much a place where I can spread my brand. And you know what's so funny? Yeah, basically when I wanted to reach out to people, like influencers or people with quite large followings, I did so. Didn't hear back from anyone, right? And then as soon as I jumped on Clubhouse, I noticed that the person that I emailed initially was moderating a room. So I go into the room and then I put my hand up to speak on stage, and then another girl that I had emailed prior as well was in that same in that room, and she was on stage. And then towards the end we're all liaising, exchanging our details, and I said, oh, by the way, I have a business and I would love if I was able to like send you my products. And then I took over to DMs, and I was like, by the way, I'm the girl that was like, I would love to send you my products. And she was like, here, sure, here's my address. So literally I created her box for her, and it's going out to her tomorrow.
That's insane. That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
How did you fall into that sort of community or network, Clubhouse and etc.? Did you naturally fall into it, or did you just do your research and find as many possibilities?
It was a bit of both. I strategically positioned myself where I was able to go onto the stage. You just put your hands up, and also I am following people that my clubhouse is very tailored, it's very business orientated. My friend logged into my clubhouse and she was like, wow, like it's more business orientated, because you can follow like all the other kind of rooms where it's more drama or whatever. I like a bit of both, where it's more business but also fun, but it's very much dominated by business entrepreneurs, people from all over the globe, like all over the world, who have like multi-millions, discussing their kind of ideas, there's startups there. You can pitch your business. There's investors on there. Clubhouse, I'm telling you, is an app. If you're a business owner, is something that you should definitely jump on, and you need to be following the right type of people.
What have been some huge changes in your life after starting the business?
And I would say I feel like I'm getting more recognition for my brand.
Yeah.
So I recently been featured on Buzzfeed, which was crazy to me.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
has a huge following. That's insane.
I know, I was so like astonished, but I was so gassed. I remember her reaching out to me, and then I literally jumped up. I was starting to like squeal and be like, oh my god. Like it just made me happy, because finally, like, you know, when you put in so much work and now you're starting to reap a bit of the benefits from all the hard work that you've been doing. So yeah, I'm starting to get more recognition from these kind of global kind of magazines, and just more opportunities, really.
And it just feels very satisfying, fulfilling, just to be noticed, especially by like someone big like Buzzfeed. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah,
if you mind
so go ahead.
asking, what were you mentioned in an article or a video, or so what type of article was it?
I literally posted it on my thing as well. I posted it on my Instagram. So it was like a article. So I'm gonna bring it out now actually. So it was 45 amazing small brands you can check out this year and beyond, and the tagline was small brands, big impact.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so she literally like, she was like, can I get a picture? And I sent her a picture, and it's like 45 small brands in the UK that people should really know about. So she's just given us a platform where we can have like more brand awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a nice sort of, not start, but push in the right direction for the business.
For sure.
I can't imagine how.
Good times, they gon' be some good times. Remember, used to pull up and let 'em fight, that's a hood time. Remember, used to hold on your hand when nobody would.